Samuel Kercheval, who was a historian.
I'm going to tell you something about Samuel Kercheval. Him and Jefferson out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. Might want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show. So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably. Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could like live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
Ah, that's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble. Excuse me. When it goes to court here. Is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time. If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bouncing him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
10 seconds remaining.
There'll be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable, gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be, work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but, God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things. And I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard. And if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
Five, 3.
Red 57! Red 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles?
a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sports Line. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Hi, everyone, and good evening. Welcome in on this Friday edition of the CityNet Statewide Sportsline for February 6th, 2026. We're glad you're with us, however you may be listening or watching the show. Brad Howe, Greg Hunter, along with you this evening. Coach Hunter, welcome, and good evening to you.
Good evening, Brad. Welcome back from the Queen City.
Thank you. Glad to be back. Victory in hand, and we've got a lot to talk about from that game last night in Cincinnati. A wonderful victory on the road for the Mountaineers. We'll dive into that deeply coming up here in just a minute. We also have some wrestling to get into. Kyle Wiggs on assignment, and his assignment is to be at Hope Coliseum this evening for the ESPN Plus broadcast. Kyle will have the call of West Virginia against, as some say, Greg, Missouri and West Virginia going at it here in just a bit. So Kyle's standing by. We'll get to him with a preview of the wrestling match coming up here in less than an hour. As always, text lines open, 304-8255-304. That's 304-TALK. Would love to hear your thoughts on the win last night over Cincinnati. We'll take those. Who would you give your game MVP to? I think you got a couple obvious candidates there, maybe a couple more sliding down in the weeds, but love to hear from you on that. 304-TALK, 304, and we'll get into your responses coming up here in just a bit. But first, let's head across town. Hope Coliseum, Missouri, West Virginia, getting ready to tangle on the mat. Kyle Wiggs on the call for ESPN Plus, and he joins us now on the CityNet Statewide Sports Line. Wiggsy, good evening.
Good evening, guys. You had Cincinnati last night for the Mountaineer basketball team, Missouri tonight for the wrestlers, right?
Very good. I love it. Well done there with the two pronunciations. All right, I'm just going to tee you up, set this one up. Two ranked teams, 16 West Virginia, 20 Missouri, going at it tonight in a what is a Big 12 conference meet, if I'm not mistaken. So go ahead and lay this one out for us.
That is correct. Missouri's back in the Big 12 conference in wrestling. They rejoined with several other associate members a few years ago, and Missouri's really good. They're ranked 20th, as you mentioned. A little bit undervalued. They've wrestled a very, very difficult schedule, and 8 of their guys are ranked compared to West Virginia, who has 6 of their 10 wrestlers ranked. And we talked with Coach Brian Smith earlier this week in preparation for this. 3 out of the last 4 years, Missouri has put all 10 of its guys in the lineup in the NCAA tournament, and Coach Smith says he's got a similar feel to this year's team, that all 10 could be wrestling in the postseason in the NCAA. So they're very good. They do have one of their ranked guys out tonight, Josh Edmond, at 149. He'll be replaced by a freshman, Seth Mendoza, so the Mountaineers need to take advantage of that. But each of these teams have guys ranked in the top 10 in the country as well. West Virginia's Ty Waters spent some time at number 1 at 157. He's currently ranked 7th in the country. He'll be up against the veteran guy and Teague Travis, who's ranked in the top 20 as well. West Virginia, their other top 10 wrestler is Jet Strickenberger right off the top at 125. He's one of the seniors that'll be honored tonight, and he's got a top 20 challenge against Max Mauger as well. Missouri has a very young wrestler who's one of the top guys not only in the Big 12 but in the country. Aiden Sinclair is ranked number 3 at 184 pounds. He's a redshirt freshman, and he's kind of got the wrestling world buzzing. So it'll be interesting to see him. And Missouri's also got guys ranked in the top 10. Evan Bates at 197, Cam Steed at 174. So it's ranked against ranked many times up and down the lineup card tonight. So it should be a tremendous battle. And West Virginia's wrestling really well. They had a bad weekend before Christmas where they took a banged-up team to North Carolina and got beat. Then they came home. That was a Friday night. They came home on Sunday and got smoked by Oklahoma State. And Oklahoma State's beating everybody badly. They're kind of running away with things in the Big 12. But since then, West Virginia's won 4 of its last 5, including back-to-back wins at home against ranked opponents Oklahoma and Wyoming. So another very difficult challenge here tonight on senior night against number 20 Missouri.
So, Kyle, you look at just the national rankings through Flow Wrestling, West Virginia seemingly has advantages in most of the 5 lower weight classes, but give Missouri advantages in most of the 5 upper weight classes. So what ultimately decides this?
Well, man, maybe bonus points. We'll see whose best guys can get bonus points. West Virginia, again, Missouri does have one of its ranked guys out at 49. So T.J. Langley, West Virginia's guy there, needs to get points and maybe some bonus points over Seth Mendoza. Ty Waters has a guy that's in the top 20, but Ty's wrestling really well. They probably need bonus points at 157 because, as you mentioned, you get deeper into the lineup, and Missouri is unbelievably good. They got a top 10 guy in Cam Steed at 74. We mentioned Sinclair ranked 3rd in the country at 84, and then a top 10 guy at 197 in Evan Bates. And that's going to be those 84 and 97. I mean, it's probably going to come down to those two, and those might be the two best matchups of the night with Sinclair against West Virginia's ranked individual Ian Bush from up in Cameron. He's 15-7. And Rune Lawrence, a redshirt freshman who was West Virginia's top recruit a year ago, he's really, really come on and is better, quite frankly, than his ranking at number 14. And he'll be up against the guy in the top 10 in Evan Bates. So you're right. West Virginia needs points early in this match because those 3 out of the bottom 4 are going to really, really be difficult for West Virginia.
Kyle, it's a little bit early right now to ask you this, but a couple things about just the atmosphere in there, and Greg, I think you'll agree with me. Wrestling crowds are fun.
Yeah.
Because they know what the heck's going on, right? They're not just in there just hanging out like, oh, let's just see what's happening here. Like, they're screaming at the officials too. They're up. They're calling takedowns and everything else. They're on it. But there's also a light show going on tonight, Kyle, and it's going to start tonight, and I think they're going to do it again tomorrow at the women's basketball game. What do you know about the light show?
Well, they tested it. I knew it pretty well because about an hour ago, when the Coliseum was empty, they turned the lights off and tested it.
All right, well, now listen, don't give away any surprises there.
I won't. But you're right. It's all tuned up and it's ready to go. And right now the lights are on. It's a really great atmosphere in terms of, the upper deck is lit up in blue, and then the lower deck's lit up in yellow. So those are, the lights are on steady with the gold and blue, and it really, really is a great, it adds a lot here, and it's going to be good for the wrestling too because they've got the spotlights on the mat, and they keep the rest of the arena fairly dark. But we were told that during one of the media timeouts, all the lights are going to go off in terms of the house lights, and we're going to see this light show. So it's exciting. It's 2026, right? So you gotta get on board with this stuff.
Listen, see, I love Wiggs.
Yeah.
Wiggs is now on board with the promotions and the light show. This is a big moment. I love this.
Who would have thought this? Kyle, in terms of the oddities of this, and we talked to Tim Flynn, West Virginia's coach, earlier in the week, this is the last wrestling match at Hope Coliseum this season. It seems very early. It's senior day, so recognition there. But West Virginia, I'm sure, wants to make some more hay as it now goes on the road after this.
Yeah, you're right. It is early. I mean, the Big 12 championships aren't for a month, and they're done at home after tonight. Schedule was strange this year. They had 4 matches home matches early in November, and then the break around Christmas time, and then they went on the road for 3 in a row, and now it's home for 3 in a row. Oklahoma, Wyoming, and Missouri, and the final 3 dual meets are all on the road. And again, the Big 12 championships start on March the 6th, and the NCAAs will start on March the 19th. So yeah, this is pretty early to have your home finale. But you mentioned the seniors. There's a total of 9 seniors that'll be honored tonight, and 2 are in the starting lineup. Jet Strickenberger spent the last couple of years here at West Virginia after winning a junior college national championship, and he's in the top 10. He's ranked number 9 at 125. And Jordan Titus at 141 has been in the lineup ever since he was a freshman. So I don't know. I'm sure there's a top 10 list somewhere of the guys that have wrestled the most in terms of number of matches. He's got to be on that top 10 or at least top 15 list because he's been here for a long time. So Strickenberger and Titus are the senior starters along with 7 of the reserves that'll be honored here on senior night.
Kyle, if I've got this right, and I know the first part, West Virginia's off to its best start in Big 12 play as good as it's been since they've joined the Big 12 in the wrestling part of it. But if I have this right, the 4th ranked opponent, and guys, is everybody good in wrestling? Like every school we talk about is who's not good in wrestling? Because it seems like it's ranked after ranked after ranked for this West Virginia team.
Yeah, the league has expanded. As you talk about, there's a lot of associate members in wrestling that are very good, some programs that you don't think about. Well, Missouri is one. I mean, Missouri's a perennial top 10 program. Of course, they were in the Big 12 for years, jumped to the SEC. Now they're associate member in the Big 12 in wrestling. And Wyoming was another team. You don't think about Wyoming being good in wrestling, but they came in. They're an associate member of the Big 12 conference. They came in here last weekend, and West Virginia beat them. So there's no way I could list all of the associate members off the top of my head, but there are a ton, and there's some very, very good wrestling programs that are in the Big 10 just as associate members for wrestling. And Oklahoma State's dominant. I mean, they've developed they're by and large the best wrestling program in this league. And, they spend a lot of money on wrestling. They really prioritize it, and it is shown because they've dominated the Big 12 the last couple of years. Yeah, and they've been a legendary program. They've been great for decades. All right, we'll let you go. We know you got a broadcast to get ready for. 7 o'clock, we top of the hour. Is that when you're on? Yeah, 7 o'clock we're on, and they don't mess around. They come on the air, and they start wrestling at 7:02. So the seniors are going to be seniors will be honored at 6:45. They introduce the lineups. We come on at 7, and we wrestle at 7:02. All right. Have a great call. We'll talk to you next week. All right. Thank you. All right. There he is. Kyle Wiggs checking in from Hope Coliseum ahead of number 16, West Virginia, number 20, Missouri, hooking up tonight on the wrestling mat. Yeah, and again, I know much of the state's gotten weather. Certainly we have in Morgantown as well, and hopefully that doesn't keep the crowd down too much. Agree. Break to take. When we come back, let's turn our attention to basketball. Huge win last night for the West Virginia Mountaineers on the road against Cincinnati. We'll break it all down. We'll get into your text as well, 304-8255, 304. We're back after this on the CityNet Statewide Sports Line.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps. And never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
The Mountain State Assessment of Trends in Community Health, or MATCH, is a survey sent to 88,000 West Virginian home addresses where the information you provide can support policymakers to direct resources to help your community. If selected, you will receive the survey information and invitation in the mail. You can complete the survey online, by mail, or by phone, and you will be compensated for your time. Visit wvmatchsurvey.org for more information. Helping your community is a touchdown for West Virginia.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. A WVRC media event.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sports Line returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Calva Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Calva, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. we're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us. Visit citynet.net.
You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kercheval. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line on Metro News Television.
Welcome back in. CityNet Statewide Sports Line continues. Brad and Greg with you on this Friday night. We're in our Health Plan studio. Health Plan provides health coverage options and has been the most trusted carrier for over 40 years. All right, Greg, let's get into this basketball game from last night. What a win. Largest comeback since 2022, down 14. And there's all kinds of different things to get into on this. And so a reminder, we'd love to hear from you. Who gets your game ball? Who's the game MVP for you? Coming out of last night's game, 304-8255-304. Here's maybe even a more interesting question. You ready for this? And you can dive in on this. What was the moment, for all the listeners, what was the moment that you flipped from saying, uh-oh, West Virginia's in trouble tonight, to, oh, West Virginia might win this game? What was that moment? Where did that occur? First half, did you have some belief? Was it halftime? Was it in the second? Was it when the buzzer went off? When did you go from uh-oh to, hey, I think they're going to get a road win here? Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and I'll let others answer it. Though in Ross Hodges' comments to you and Tony in the postgame, it's probably when people woke up who had already bailed on that thing, and they said, what happened? It wasn't even Honor's first three of the second half, but maybe in the middle of that 14-point run, personal 14-point run, I was like, whoa. Because that lead shrunk from, I think it was 12 when it started. Maybe it was 14 when it started, to 1 in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of that, I go, okay, they got something cooking, because it was not pretty in the first half. There were some things. I mean, Honor and Trayson were making plays to get other people the ball, but when neither of them score, you have to have some concern. So your court side at the table, was there a point when you said, "Ooh, this is on a flip"?
Well, listen, I'm not a whole lot different than a lot of you. I mean, we're sitting there, and I felt I did what I often do with Mountaineer football and basketball. I was concerned about this game a lot, given how the game went in Morgantown, and you needed those last couple of minutes here with Honor's three and then Trey's shot from in front of the bench to kind of take it from Cincinnati. And so I was worried going in there. I thought you'd get a desperate Cincinnati team playing at home. And so I was worried about the matchup. And then as I got into it, I started thinking, you know what, I kind of like this matchup. And then as I was around the guys and the coaches a little more the last couple of days, I thought, you know what, I feel good. Now I head into the game feeling good about this. And then you start the way you started again, another slow start, which it admittedly has been a problem for, 5 or 6 games now.
5 straight games. Of course, they've won 3 of those.
Well, that's what I mean. So I'm going to be done. We've talked about it every pregame show. Hey, West Virginia needs to get off to a hot start. Well, no, they don't. I mean, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
They don't absolutely have to. They're not. And then that started, and you're like, maybe it's just not going to be your night. But where I give this team and this staff a lot of credit, and this is not just – I'm not just saying this. This is actually what happens. Those guys truly don't blink. I mean, they don't panic. There's no panic on that bench. Those guys don't look any different than when they're up than when they're down 14, and they just keep grinding and coming along. And I'm not willing to say that I would have put hard-earned dollars, if I were allowed to, that I would have put hard-earned dollars on West Virginia at the half. But I did say, Greg, on the air, as I was looking at that, I said Cincinnati should be the one with pressure on them right now. They should be up 20 to 25 points. They were plus 13 in points off turnovers and second chance points. Seemingly every loose ball was going their way, and Honor and Trey weren't scoring. They were both scoreless. You were 0 of 9 from 3. There is no way that should have been only a 10-point lead. And it was really 8. They scored that 10th to give them a 10-point lead at the buzzer when Baba scored right going into halftime. I thought that Cincinnati might be in some trouble. Add into that the difficulty the Bearcats have had in closing out close games under Wes Miller in the final 5 minutes. I thought, if you don't get it together here fast, West Virginia's going to be up on you. And then sure enough, in the second half, you kept clawing back in, and guys were making shots, and then Honor went ballistic and went bananas and did his thing. The defense kicked in. I thought Cincinnati, quite frankly, had some dubious offensive choices. In the first half, I thought their game plan was sound. They were executing. They weren't relying on threes. In the second half, I thought West Virginia closed that lane, forced them to rely on outside shots a little bit more, which we know. They're a bottom 40 team nationally in three-point percentage, and you clawed back in that thing. So I don't know when I would say my moment was. It probably wasn't halftime, but I wasn't as discouraged as you might think at halftime, given how that was going.
It is interesting, the mental aspect of all sports, but basketball in particular, because you mentioned Cincinnati just has to be waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, no question.
Right?
No question.
And they've been through that.
That arena was too.
Mm-hmm.
That arena was tight, and as Honor was coming, you could start to hear the grumbling, and the tenseness was palpable.
And then, the other side for West Virginia, and we talk about, well, they have to keep coming back because you get down early. But, the fact that they keep finding a way, and not every time, but they've dug out of so many holes, it's like, okay, here we go again.
Yeah.
Let's give it in Cincinnati's on the other end.
I'll give Ross Hodge a lot of credit. I'll give you a little peek behind the curtain here. In pregame, right after pregame meal, they do a little bit of a film session, and they go through the final scouting report of individual players. They've already done the offense and defense part. And Ross gets up and he gets in front of the team, and it's not long. And they get in and out of this stuff. It's not droning on and on for hours. And Ross gets up, and almost his entire message to the team was, he just said, listen, guys, here's the deal. This is going to be hard tonight. This is one of those games. This is going to be hard. And he said, don't be surprised when it's hard. I don't want you coming over at any point to start the game, middle of the game, end of the game, and look at me like, oh, I'm surprised this is hard. It's going to be hard. And he said these words. He said, get your mind around that right now. It was like 3:15 in the afternoon. He said, get your mind around that now. This is going to be hard. And that message stuck and took with those guys because they just did not ever flinch.
Another thing that seemed to be a message from the coaches, and you tell me because you're there and you know the scouting report better than I, but former Mountaineer Kirk Risa, on the floor. He's had some injury issues, but as soon as he got on the floor, it looked like West Virginia attacked him. Now, he drew a couple offensive fouls.
Early,
you can call them wishy-washy, but, he drew them, but it looked like West Virginia just kept going. We're going right at him.
As much as I've seen another player targeted maybe in any game, and Wes Miller kept him on the floor, and it was interesting because, Kerr's battled through those injuries, and I'm sure that's a factor because he was not the same player even in his best days that we saw here. He wasn't making his outside shots, which he struggled all year to do that. He wasn't distributing the ball. They didn't even have him at the point most of the time. They had him off guard. But, man, defensively, West Virginia went after him continuously. And it benefited West Virginia in two different ways. Kerr was a minus 14. If you want to do a plus-minus, Greg, the biggest plus-minus, the biggest minus for either team was the minus 14. And think about that. For a team that won the game only scoring 58 points, they had 54. He was minus 14. So West Virginia put him in pick and rolls. They posted him up. Whoever he was matched up against, West Virginia had them initiate offense. And then I give Wes Miller credit. They did counter that with, when Kerr was left alone in a post-up situation, they flew a double team at him and brought Baba over or somebody else to try and help out and provide a second defender so you couldn't just wheel and go right by Kerr, which you were doing early. Well, then what did that do? West Virginia did a great job of taking advantage of that, and that's part of why West Virginia runs what it runs offensively. When you've got a matchup like that, very NBA-esque, you attack the matchup. And one particular time I can remember, they dumped down to Trey on the block, who was taking him in the post. Trey immediately recognizes Baba coming over on the double. He kicks it to the top of the key, immediately swing it to Chance Moore on the far right wing. What's Chance Moore going to do when he gets it?
Drive the ball.
Head down, go to the basket, and Baba then, because he had gone over to help, was slow getting back. He negated his shot blocking ability. Chance gets a layup, and there were things like that all night. So I thought West Virginia, once it got it going, and it was ugly for a while. And listen, I understand when you watch and West Virginia is not making shots or turning it over, it can look ugly. And Ross says this a lot. Your feel good comes from your offense generally.
Yeah.
Right? And it's really hard to feel good about your performance or what you're seeing when shots aren't going in. But you got to keep grinding and playing defense. And I thought West Virginia did that tremendously well, holding Cincinnati to 7 of 23 in the second half shooting. Defense was fantastic all night.
It is interesting. His post-game comments, again, to you guys on Mountaineer Sports Network. Obviously everybody quickly points to honor Huff and what he did, and then DJ Thomas playing really well. But
we'll get to DJ, yes.
The guy he called out was a guy who only had 2 points, and that's Amir Jenkins. What was it that really caught his attention with Amir?
2 things. It's defense, and that's usually in this system, in this particular year, I think Jasper Floyd has been a completely underrated defender. What he is able to do on the other team's best guard each night, and he needed to get it again last night. If you look at these guys and what they did for the game, you talk about Day Thomas, 4 of 10 from the field. Jizzle James, who had 10 in the first 4.5 minutes.
Blistering early.
He was. He finishes with 18, 7 of 16. So those guards, again, had a tough night. That's a lot of credit to Jasper and Amir. So Amir did 2 things. One, and that's what he was praising for, was his on-ball defense. As Ross referred to it, the point-of-attack defense. Amir was outstanding, as he's been all year. I thought the other part, Ross agreed with this, I thought the other part where it worked that Amir was the perfect guy on the floor at the time. There was that stretch where it did look like an NBA All-Star game in terms of pace.
Yeah.
Right? Where it was like 3 straight back, down, and back.
Nobody could score, though.
And that was ugly. I mean, the balls were flipping all over, but it got fast. And West Virginia doesn't get fast often. But if it's going to get fast, the guy you want with the ball in his hands is Amir, right? Because he can go, and it worked out that way, and he ended up with a layup, and then you got a dunk on the other end. And I thought Amir's minutes, even though, again, that's another guy, the stat line doesn't look, it won't blow you away. He was tremendous. I'll give you one other that same thing. Stat line, if you just look at the raw stats, you'll go like, okay. I thought Harlan Obioha was tremendous. His energy and physicality, especially early, I did think set a tone inside, and West Virginia dominated the paint in there. It helped that Mustafa Cham did not play, but Harlan was the best interior player in that game. Baba Miller's very skilled, but he got a lot of his work out with facing up to the basket. Harlan was really good inside.
Fouled out the big for Cincinnati, who started in place of Cham.
Yep.
So, I can certainly see what you're saying.
All right, plenty more to get into. We've got a ton of texts coming your way. The second question of the night was, when did you flip from, West Virginia's in trouble to, hey, I think West Virginia's got a chance to win this game or is going to win this game? 304-8255. 304. We'll get to your responses next. We'll also dive into DJ Thomas. I thought it was a super impactful performance for the true freshman from the Dallas area. We'll talk about DJ next on the CityNet Statewide Sports Line. Winter in West Virginia can bring snow, ice, and everything in between. But while the weather changes, your internet shouldn't. CityNet Gig Fiber is 100% West Virginia owned and built for reliability, delivering fast, symmetrical speeds that outperform satellite and cable, especially in tough weather. And right now, new residential customers can get 50% off any internet plan for 1 full year, with plans starting as low as $25 a month and speeds up to 10 gig. Check availability at your address. Visit citynet.net today.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps. And never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The Health Plan.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Coming to Parkersburg High School, February 6th and 7th. Who are the toughest men and women in the state of West Virginia? Watch Tough Man live on Metro News Television to find out. Featured fights, top 5 finishes, and event archives. Download Metro News Television on iPhone, iPad, Android, Roku, LG TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Find out more at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Coach Hunter, you know Valentine's Day is approaching.
I've heard.
Another, 8 days?
Yeah.
Almost just a little over a week.
You done anything on that for your beloved?
Efforting. But here's something. I'm here to help, by the way. If you haven't done your Valentine's Day shopping, here's something you can do. You can fall in love with your internet again. CityNet's gig fiber delivers fast, reliable speeds with no contracts, no data caps, and local West Virginia support. Right now, how about this offer? New customers can get 50% off any internet plan for 1 full year. Plans start at just $25 a month. That's pretty good, Coach Hunter.
That is very good.
Check availability at your address to see if CityNet's there by going to citynet.net today. CityNet, love at first speed. How about that? That'd be a nice old Valentine's gift if you've got CityNet's gig fiber in your area. All right, let's get into some of these texts. Got a bunch of them here talking about the West Virginia-Cincinnati game. When did you have a feeling that it wasn't any longer an uh-oh game? It was a, hey, I think you're going to win this one. Texter says, Honor Huff's second and one basket made me flip over to knowing we would win the game. That's Glenn in Richmond. And we mentioned earlier, he was a really good, as I described it, went from Honor Huff the shooter, Greg, to Honor Huff the playmaker.
Yeah.
And it just, when he's making those shots, when he's getting around you, which there's still nobody that can stay in front of him. Greg, he went around Sincere Harris like he's standing still, and I don't remember many guys being able to get around Sincere like that.
Yeah.
And he just breezed right by him, drew the foul, and got pushed in the back. That might be the one the texter's
talking about. Was that more important, his ability to get the rim and draw the N1s, than just hitting outside shots?
I think so. Yeah, well, yes. I mean, those 3-pointers, though.
Yeah.
And that team, just as the fans do in the Coliseum, it gets its energy when he starts making threes, right? So maybe that might be a little much. The threes are probably still more valuable. But his ability to get around defenders if you switch and then distribute for guys to finish, that's really, if he can start doing that consistently, that changes this team quite a bit. Texter says, Brad, do you think this offense that he uses every year, it's pretty ugly? Yeah, as we just talked about, I get it. I mean, it can be ugly. There's no doubt. And Ross would tell you that when it's low possessions and it's driving the shot clock down in order to limit those possessions, and then it doesn't end up in a basket or it ends worse in a turnover. Missed shots are one thing, turnovers are worse. I get that it feels ugly, and I thought that's why I mentioned it just a little bit ago, the way Ross describes that, and he talks to the guys about this, that your feel good comes from your offense, right? When you're not scoring, it is hard to feel great, and I think that's true when you're watching basketball. If the team is not scoring, it is hard to feel really good about what's going on. But there is a method to the madness, and we've talked extensively about this, and if you watch it, the matchup-based part of this and the ability to open cutting lanes, as you got a lot last night, the ability to draw people out on honor and create space for other players, there is a method to the madness there, and when it works, it's great. But I get it. When you miss shots, it can be tough to watch. I think things evolve as the skill set of the players evolve, and I think Grant McCaslin's a great example of that at Texas Tech. They play a totally different style than when he coached at North Texas with Ross. They are much more up and down. They are more offensively geared than they are defensively geared, and part of that, they have multiple great shooters. They have Christian Anderson, who's one of the best in the league. They have a big in JT Toppin, who was last year's Player of the Year and preseason Player of the Year this year. So I think as your skills evolve and become different with your different players, things are going to adapt and change. I will say this. The way Phil Forte, Johnny Estelle, Ross, they look at all, they've got it. They're on it. They're on it. This is a different style, and I get it, and you got to get used to it, and it's a different way to play, but they're on it.
Yeah, and I understand teams that emphasize defense aren't as pretty necessarily and aesthetically pleasing in basketball as others, but if your ultimate goal is to win,
win.
Anybody care that Houston may not always be great?
Correct, and I won't do it tonight. I've got it, and there's not time tonight. I'll go through one of these nights, the advanced numbers on Houston and how close this year, how close West Virginia's are to Houston. It shows you a couple things. That's the blueprint here. And in this league, I think you've got to be good defensively. So Houston's the blueprint, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, it also shows you how thin the margin of error is.
Sure.
I mean, you're talking about like 0.05 of a point, and it takes you from the number 12 offense or the number 30 offense to the number 130 offense. It's remarkable how thin that is. We'll do that one day.
And we used to hear that about Hugs' teams, right? I mean, the Press Virginia was a little bit different because it was so scattered, but I mean, he was defensive guy, and all he did was win. There were times that offense
would bog down and look bad, and you couldn't finish a shot, and you're tired because you've been expending so much energy on defense. And listen, here's the thing to remember, and I'm with you. I don't care what style it is, just win. Find a way to win games. And I'm like that in football. If you want to go run the wishbone, fine. You want to throw it 60 times like Dana did, fine. You want to run it 112 times a game like Rich is going to do this year, and he likes to, fine. Whatever, just win games. Don't care. Basketball the same way. There's very few teams that do it both offensively and defensively, right? We're going to get into March, and I'm going to give you 4 of them that are top 25
and they'll get
in
to
offense
the
and
Final
defense.
Four,
And
or at least the odds are.
Yeah, and West Virginia is building towards that. Texter says, we were down 14. I got upset and switched to Gunsmoke in the second half. Is that you still find that somewhere?
I think it's still on.
After the episode, I went back to the game, and it was tied. Maybe I should not watch. Great win, though.
I'd miss Kitty deal.
Greg from Lake Norman checking in. Got to admit, I'd pretty much written off that game last night when we were down 14. I was ready to switch over to the red-hot Charlotte Hornets, but I stuck with it, and I'm glad I did. I just don't understand why they get off to slow starts. Maybe it's in the player's DNA to play from behind. No, and again, I've said if there was an easy answer, you'd have it. There's not, and I won't pretend to have the answer, or I would just give my thoughts, and we'd fix it. Don't have a great answer. Texter says, Yogi Berra once said, it ain't over till it's over. That's my moment. Didn't feel good till the horn went off. I understand that too. I had a little bit of that in me. Texter says, I felt good when we had a chance when DJ made his second 3. DJ gets my Player of the Game award. Huff started the rally. DJ finished it off. And let's talk about DJ point for a minute. I would agree with both of those. DJ was fantastic. And you talk about guys that don't blink and don't change expression. You have no idea what kind of day DJ Thomas is having either way. And he had been struggling from 3.
Yeah.
In that game, he had missed a couple from 3. And you know what he didn't do, Greg? Didn't hang his head. Did not shoot. That might be the most important part of that. Not only did he not hang his head, he didn't catch that one in the corner or the one at the top of the key and go, I've been cold. I'm not going to take it. Like, watch this if you're watching our stream. Jasper with the drive. Look at the penetration, the help, and the kick. No hesitation from DJ. Bang, got it. One of the things they emphasized, he has to take that shot. He can't not take that shot, to use a double negative. If he's open like that, he's got to shoot the basketball. He's a good shooter. Take the shot. He did, even though he'd missed a couple. And then he came back on that second one. Braden, let's play that second one here. This is another good one. And so you can see Ross Hodge directing, calling out traffic, what you want to do here on the side. Ignore the 4 fouls that come when they try and hold DJ. 1, there's 2, there's 3. And now here comes Honor. Catch, don't think, shoot. Cincinnati completely out of position defensively, right? And that's what it's designed to do. Space the floor. Everybody flies at Honor Huff. Kick it to DJ. Knock it down.
He the most pleasant surprise for you? We sort of thought Amir was going to be, he was going to have a significant role, even though in a backup position. But DJ, I mean, Jackson Fields was the guy that you sort of thought, okay, he's going to be that next big off the bench. But obviously his injury status is taking him completely out of the lineup now. Yeah. So, he's getting a whole lot more. Maybe that's made him develop that much quicker.
I was going to say, I think that's interrelated. So yes, to answer the question, I think, and I think Ross would agree. When he showed up on campus and had grown 1.5 inches from 6'7.5" to 6'9", when he committed to North Texas, he was 6'7", showed up at 6'9", and I think the coaches went, look at this guy. He doesn't look like an 18-year-old.
Yeah, he's a man too. He's not just some skinny little.
And he's not even close to being done, right?
Yeah,
as young as he is. And so I think that got their attention first and foremost. They already knew he was really smart basketball-wise. He was going to know what he was doing. He was going to pick this up. He just needed some reps. And then I think the Jackson Fields injury is what then pushed DJ into the rotation, and they went, all right, we got something here, because he had to play. And I'm not even talking about games yet. I'm just talking about the reps in practice and the rotations. He was forced to jump into the fire right away, and I think you're right. That's what accelerated his growth and allowed West Virginia to go, I think we've really, really got something here. So he and Amir are going to be key pieces, obviously, when we begin our discussion about retention. And you want to hope in today's day and age that you can hold on to those guys and start with them moving forward with this talented freshman class. Texter says their moment was when Thomas buried his first 3. This texter, with 3 minutes to go, They felt like the game was over. I think the Cincinnati crowd agreed. They emptied it about that point.
Jasper Floyd with a great find there. And I'm sure that was part of the play to look for him, but when the double comes to him and he kicks it to the corner.
So that was the other part of the messaging to the team, was not only do you have to take those shots when you're available, it was get some penetration, get moving north and south instead of out around the perimeter so much, right, where you're side to side where they can get into you more. Like, you got to get by people and beat them. Try and get those feet in the paint. The defense is going to collapse and you're going to kick it, and then you got to shoot it. When we kick it, be ready to shoot it. And I thought everybody did that to a T. Jasper did his job driving around the defender, got into the lane. That you saw that help side come all the way over. Hey, Braden, play that again. Let's look at that again. The first one, the corner 3 from DJ Thomas, because I think this is just a great example of what you're trying to get to offensively, and it's how the thing can work together. Here it is. So handoff, here comes, look, they're confused. They're already out of position. Look at Baba, doesn't know where he's going. They have to come help side. Baba tries to close late, and you get it open, right? And that's what you're starting to do. So even though it's not continuous, every guy moving at the same time, you saw how confused Cincinnati got. And they were like that a lot. Cincinnati was confused inside a ton. I think some of that has to do with no Chom, right? So the 2 bigs that play together most of the time, they were missing one, and you could tell the guys that were coming in weren't as adept at their rotations. That mattered a lot. All right, one more text for now. Texter says, game ball goes to DJ Thomas. Don't disagree. All right, we've got a bunch more texts still coming in. Feel free to send them 304-8255-304. We'll get to those, and we'll finish up the text line when we return. Final segment of the CityNet Statewide Sports Line straight ahead.
Life is busy. Your health care shouldn't slow you down. With WVU Medicine's My WVU Chart app, you can schedule your appointments anytime, anywhere, right from your phone or computer. Whether it's a virtual visit or an in-person checkup, booking is quick and easy. Don't have an account? Sign up today at mywvuchart.com or download the app. Take control of your health. with WVU Medicine and my WVU chart.
The Mountain State Assessment of Trends in Community Health, or MATCH, is a survey sent to 88,000 West Virginian home addresses where the information you provide can support policymakers to direct resources to help your community. If selected, you will receive the survey information and invitation in the mail. You can complete the survey online, by mail, or by phone, and you will be compensated for your time. Visit wvmatchsurvey.org for more information. Helping your community is a touchdown for West Virginia.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
On the next State of Minds.
My dad always said, don't let any one individual control your destiny, what you do, what your value is. And I wasn't about to let Paterno do that to me. I mean, it was just a phenomenal time, my first game, and to be accepted as a Mountaineer.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
Welcome back in. Final segment, CityNet Statewide Sports Line. Brad and Greg with you. Let's get to a few more texts here, Greg, before we get out of here. Texter says, I never feel good in close games because our free throw shooting stinks. Yeah, that was a tough night last night at the line, Greg, and you're not wrong. I mean, it's been a struggle. West Virginia, I don't have it right in front of me, but they're in the bottom 50 or so teams from the free throw line. I'd like that to get a little better. The surprise to me, and I'm surprised when he misses any kind of shot, but when Honor missed a couple last night, Greg, and you could tell that was just straight fatigue. The amount of running he does in a game in particular, the amount of effort it took, again, just like Kansas State, to get back in the game, or Baylor, when you claw back in the game, that expends a ton of energy. But yeah, that was a concern last night. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, he missed several, and then Trey Eaglestaff missed 2 on one trip when you thought that was going to come back to haunt him. I'll admit.
So those are kind of the ones. Like when Harlan goes and misses one, so be it. You're a 7-footer. I mean, he's got a nice-looking shot, but at times he misses. I get that. Shooting's not his forte from distance. But when Honor and Trey are missing him, that's when you start to get a little concerned.
2 worst teams in the Big 12 in terms of free throw shooting last night in West Virginia. The only team worse than them is Cincinnati.
Texter says, call me a traditionalist, but in this portal age of one-and-done upperclassmen transfers, it's so much fun to watch freshmen like Jenkins and Thomas get better every week. In Texter's opinion, the turning point was DJ's second three-pointer. Honor and DJ, Greg, when they were on the floor together, had 11 total minutes of time together.
Okay.
+8 overall, plus minus, +13 in the second half.
Wow.
For those two. Pretty good. Texter says, halftime was when they felt good. Scores like Huff will get their points. Great game by Thomas also. Hit the big threes. Eagle staff with the 3. Yeah, he's been stroking it. And I know he didn't hit a ton last night, but he continues to be a guy you can just depend on, Greg, when he's in. And struggled from the field last night, 1 of 6 from 3. But, man, that was a big one. That gave West Virginia the lead. He was outstanding on the glass again, 5 rebounds, played great defense. Again, look at some of his plus-minus numbers. They're great. He's really been shooting at the last 4 or 5 games, though. His Big 12 splits are pretty impressive. So you're getting the complete Trey package starting to come along now. Texter, Huff's 3-pointers make it easy for him to get around defenders. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They're flying at him, but there's times even when it's just straight one-on-one when he gets switched up on or guys try and guard him, you just cannot stay in front of him. I've said this before, Greg. He's very Tavon-esque on the basketball floor. His stop and start is absolutely jaw-dropping and his straight speed. So if he's going to get by you and be able to distribute or finish from a mid-range,
huge.
Outstanding. Texter, didn't feel comfortable until the last 5 seconds. I get it. Doug in Winfield. He says he was comfortable at the final buzzer. Too many hopes and dreams have been crushed too many times to think we're going to finish off that comeback last night. Texter says, based on your conversations with the UC folks, will Miller be back next year? His postgame last night was unlike anything he's ever heard before. He was apologizing all over for himself. Yeah, that was a tough scene. Listen, I always say this, Greg. It's hard to have a lot of sympathy for other programs because when we're going through our trials and tribulations, there's not a lot of other schools willing to give you a hand up. I get it. I don't like to see anybody lose their job. That was a tough postgame press conference for him. And listen, he got some criticism for his press conference here in Morgantown.
Yeah.
Where he got a little defiant. Yeah, he got a little defiant. This was a different approach. He did, you're right, Doug. He just apologized all over himself, and I think that's all you could do in that situation. They struggled to close it out again. We've been there. We've seen it. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see what Cincinnati decides to do at the end of the year. We'll see. Silly season starting to come. Big one coming up for West Virginia on Sunday. Texas Tech rolls in. Greg, I'd rather not get the Red Raiders after losing. What have they lost? Three in a row?
Is it 3 now?
2 in a row. UCF, and then at home to Kansas in a game they had until Darren Peterson made 2 threes in the final 80 seconds of that game to get a win.
Yeah, you're right. But, go in there, take your shot. See what happens.
Take your shot. Be interesting to watch this matchup. Nobody knows this offense better than Ross.
True.
Nobody knows what West Virginia's trying to do as well as Grant McCaslin. And they've got some players. So this will be fun. Super Bowl Sunday appetizer.
Absolutely.
We didn't even get into our Super Bowl talk. Favorite appetizer.
No Super Bowl or no Sunday sports line this week is we're always preempted by the Super Bowl.
That's a good point. The rare Sunday off for Travis and Greg. All right, thanks, everybody. Great text. We appreciate everybody weighing in. We'll be back with you Monday, hopefully talking about a win over the Red Raiders. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, stay warm, stay out of the snow, unless you're going skiing. We'll talk to you on Monday. See you.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sports Line is an exclusive production of the Metro News Radio Network. All rights reserved.